Hello and happy new moon. We have a new moon in Scorpio on Wednesday, November 7th at 11:01:57 a.m. here in New York, Eastern Standard Time. So we have a new moon in Scorpio. I'm going to read to you a couple of notes from this awesome book, Moonology by Yasmin Boland, about what she says you have sort of energy-wise working during a Scorpio new moon. So I also have a ton of notes on my own, but I just want to go through this first. So the first thing is get sexy. The energy of the new moon in Scorpio is very sexy. So Scorpio, this is me talking now. Scorpio is like a very mysterious water sign. A lot to do with sexuality and sensuality. And then this says that's because Scorpio is the sign that isn't afraid of its dark side or of showing itself in an unguarded manner. Scorpios don't give a fuck. And of course, sex works best when people forget themselves and stop worrying about how they look. Super important during this new moon. So many of us grew up being told that sex is in some ways dirty. There's Cecilia. But Scorpio is the sign that will get down and dirty and smile lavishly as it goes. And we all have Scorpio energy. So first is get sexy. Second is invest wisely. So think about financial partnerships during a Scorpio new moon. That's something I didn't hear anywhere else except in this book. In other words, where your money meets or works with someone else's. So interesting. So like business partnerships. That's very interesting for me right now. Some obvious scenarios include your salary, credit cards, debts, and mortgages. If you want to start or finish a financial partnership, now is the time for it. So if you have a loan you want to pay off and you have money to do it, do it. It's a really good time for that. It's better for ending things, basically, even though the new moon is for manifestation, typically, because we end the phase and we begin anew. So it's a good time to think about planting your seeds. So plant some financial seeds. Making inner peace. So you want to kind of don't ignore those dark energies of like possessiveness and jealousy, because they're very much Scorpio energy, all that dark energy. So how are your feelings? Look at that because it's a water sign, right? So there's a lot of emotions and feelings involved. Are you having a power struggle with anyone? These all relate to the dark side of Scorpio. Don't reject this part of yourself. Rather, use the new moon and Scorpio energy coming through right now to make peace with it. The less you repress it, the less trouble it will cause you. This doesn't give you carte blanche to turn into a raging jealous beast, though. Rather, it means acknowledging that you have these feelings and dealing with them in a way that's safe to all involved. Breathe. Go to a yoga class or meditate, maybe. So there's a lot of intensity going on with the Scorpio new moon, and you won't be surprised to hear that it's a good time to deepen your relationships, sexual or otherwise. I'm going to get more into that when I go through the notes that I have about this new moon. Don't let your attraction to someone, friendship or sexual attraction, become too obsessive. So some people can be really obsessive about their friends too. Very common, unfortunately, to become a little bit obsessive. You know, that whole wanting to be like someone else so much, so you're like clinging to them kind of thing. Really stand in your own ground and appreciate them for who they are, but also appreciate yourself for who you are. It can be fun, but don't take it too far. Look at your actions, and if you know you're being compulsive, then deal with it kindly. Commitments made at a new moon in Scorpio usually have serious staying power, so that's important to know. Let go of grudges. It's a really good time to let go of any grudges we're holding, because otherwise we're just going to hold on to that darkness, right? So it's a good time to let go of those before we start manifesting anew in this new moon. This is the time to ditch emotional baggage and drop grudges. These are toxic and destructive. Grudges only poison us, not the person that we're holding the grudge against. It does absolutely nothing to them. Life is too short for anything like that. That kind of thing. Okay, so that's what Yasmin Boland says about a Scorpio new moon. Now, here's what I have to say out of all that I've read and sort of when I looked at the chart and all that good stuff. I'm going to talk about some crystals to use. I'll do that at the end. there's some good ones. I have like a top 3 crystals that I suggest you use. They're labradorite, rhodochrosite, and citrine. And I'll tell you why in a moment, why I think that those are such awesome crystals for this new moon. So we have this new moon in 15 degrees of Scorpio, which brings about all this energy of darkness. It takes the death aspect head on. So with a moon cycle, there's these aspects of birth and death. And in a new moon, we're already feeling that death aspect because the moon is black in the sky. It's not there currently at a new moon. But it's about to be reborn. But Scorpio kind of settles on that death part and tells us not to be afraid of that, because there's still this letting go that needs to happen before we can manifest anew in this new cycle. It's about spiritual transformation, empathy, and forgiveness. So let go of grudges, as I said earlier. Stop holding grudges against yourself too, and forgive yourself for past mistakes. Otherwise, they're just going to eat you alive. So just look those head on and just deal with them. Recognize that you made a mistake. Maybe apologize to somebody if you need to. That's literally my next bullet point here. Say sorry. Let go of that guilt or shame. Until you face it, it's going to eat you alive. It's going to be one of those things that stops you from sleeping at night. So take some time to apologize for something you did wrong. It's going to be hard. It's going to bring up some darkness. But once you do, you're going to be able to move on and you won't have to think about that anymore. And the effects of this new moon are going to last 4 weeks until December 7th's new moon. So we also have some other aspects. We have a trine with Neptune and the new moon, which brings about a sensitive and compassionate energy. We're going to focus on achieving our goals to help others. We have a sense of destiny that helps us achieve our goals right now. So it's a really good time to achieve goals. This Neptune energy also makes it a really good time to go out and join groups, because you can meet really good friends that are going to last a lifetime right now. Or you can meet a lover or a potential spouse or life partner. So that's pretty cool, right? It's a good energy for that. And it actually, even more aspects are going to show you it's an even better energy for that. So then we also have a sextile with Pluto. So Pluto is sextile the new moon. Pluto actually rules Scorpio, and this deals with destiny and evolution. So the Pluto energy actually deepens the Neptune energy. So all the ability to achieve your goals, set new goals right now is a really good thing to do. Especially with this Scorpio energy that's helping us release the old. The more we release the old, the more we can bring in the new, right? So there's more of this sensitivity and compassionateness, all this watery energy brings about some of the positive aspects of Scorpio, which is all that water emotional energy. And if we can just work through the darkness, we can get to all that good compassionateness. Solving mysteries, exposing lies, and it helps you open up. So you're going to build stronger relationships when you're able to be really authentic and open up about even maybe some dark things from your past with people. You're going to feel more comfortable sharing them with these people, and they're going to be understanding, because guess what? We all have that Scorpio darkness, shadow side to ourselves. We all have that. So no one's perfect, right? And this is going to be a time when people are more understanding of that. We also have a fixed star. This is now, it's the brightest star in Libra. Now let me try and pronounce this. It's Zubenel Gemubi. Maybe. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It is the brightest star in Libra on the ecliptic. It has to do with karmic debt, okay? So this could lead to loss, disappointment, or wrongful accusation based on your past karma. So depending on things that you have done wrong in the past, especially if you are not saying sorry and letting go of that guilt or shame, they're going to come back to haunt you at this time. That's what this sort of Libra, Libra is the scales. So this judgment is coming out, and it's going to sort of judge you in one way or another. Could end up really good, could be really bad. So, hopefully people that deserve it, karma is going to come for them right now, right? And if you feel like you have some negative karma in your future, maybe take that time, because of the Scorpio energy, to look at those demons head on, apologize for them, and tell people that you're working on them at least. Even if, maybe you still have some issues going on, or you still have things that you feel bad about and you're still in that situation. But on the positive side of this fixed star, it can lead to this dream lover. So you know that song, I need a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. That song is like perfect. I keep thinking about that. So you could find your own dream lover during this new moon even more because of this fixed star, right? So it's pretty cool. It's a good time to go out and meet people. So if you have been holding back from going on a blind date or signing up for a dating site, because that's really popular nowadays, anything like that, joining a club, joining a group, doing things that make you happy, you're going to find somebody that makes you happy, whether they are a romantic lover or a platonic love. You know, we have twin flames that are totally platonic. We meet these people throughout our lives and they just change us for the better in this really wonderful way, and they just kind of make us feel really great just for who we are. And those are the important people, and those are the people that you could meet right now if you go out of your comfort zone, maybe try something new and approach people. Don't be afraid to look someone in the eyes and make communication. I know that's really hard nowadays, but it is something that is super, super possible if you just step out of that comfort zone and just go talk to someone, do something that sounds fun to you. That's really the best thing that you could do right now during this new moon. We have Venus trine Mars. Mars also rules Scorpio. And this deals with personal will. And you're going to want to put your will into the higher service of others so that you are not getting too bogged down in ego, because Mars can have this ego aspect. But with Mars trine Venus, that's going to be more of like a loving energy where you're going to want to have like a partnership, right? Because Venus and Mars were traditionally kind of like lovers, you know? So there's like the lover and then the fighter, and somehow they match together perfectly. So it's a good time for social contacts. Again, go meet people. Don't be afraid. This is the time. Step out of your comfort zone. Do something you want to do. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything. Whatever you're into, you're going to find cool people that are into it too, that you really jive with. So it's a great time for that. We also have Jupiter quincunx Uranus, which brings about a state of flux, so like uncertainty, but also optimism, which can lead to some serious growth. So like I said, be optimistic about your uncertainty and then go out and meet people so that you can grow as a human, right, on this plane. Beautiful. Fate is going to guide you to the right people. We also have the North Node trine, which is a good omen for relationships. So go out, meet people. Seriously, if there's any one thing that this moon is doing for you, it's telling you to go out and meet people, because they're going to be really important people to you. They're going to change your life. You're going to change theirs. You're going to lift each other up, right? Those are the kind of people we want in our life. So go out and meet people like that. It's a really great opportunity, especially if you're going out alone, just by yourself, because that really shows a lot of initiative and a lot of passion in whatever you're doing, because you're not just going because someone else is going. You're going because you want to go. So really do it. Let me know if anything happens. I would love to hear if something crazy happens. You meet your best friend or you meet your new lover and it turns out to be amazing. It's a really good time for that. So back to those 3 crystals. Labradorite, right? So labradorite is a great stone for any new moon. Here's Cecilia again. It's a great stone for any new moon because labradorite is a stone of manifestation. If you take a piece of labradorite, she likes it when I talk like this. When you take a piece of labradorite and you tap it 3 times and you think about what you want to manifest, they say it comes true. So see for yourself if it comes true and try manifesting with labradorite. Then rhodochrosite is going to allow you to open up your heart. It's a heart chakra stone. So that's a great thing to have during this new moon. At any time, we should have our hearts open. We should always live with our hearts open. But if you want to meet someone new and be open to that and not be afraid of going out of your comfort zone or just be afraid of getting maybe committed, even just into a friendship, because sometimes that's hard for us, right? Then rhodochrosite is going to be really helpful for you to open up that heart chakra and to just let love of all sorts into your life. And then third is citrine. And citrine is a solar plexus stone, right? So that yellow chakra in the middle of your stomach that has to do with confidence. It's going to help us to achieve our will. So whatever it is that we want to manifest, maybe it's something different. Maybe, as I mentioned earlier, we could be working on our finances right now. Or maybe it is friendship or a relationship or something of those sorts. It's going to be a really good stone to help us with that. So those 3 stones together can help us manifest, open our heart, and achieve our will. And that is just awesome. So with that, I don't want to make this video too long. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope that you guys thoroughly enjoy this awesome new moon. Peace out, namaste, and join me next time. Love and light, guys.